Hi there, this is Linda, and in this video, I'm putting together my Project Life spread for the week of August 7th through 13th. For this week, I'm going to be using the Facts and Feelings kit from Ali Edwards. I know I normally start these videos out by cutting out my photos, but I decided I was going to show you guys a little bit more of my pre-planning process in this video. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, so at this point, I have not yet printed out any of my photos. I have my planner here because this is my weekly spread of my Hobonichi cousin where I wrote out kind of everything that happened during this week. And I was having a lot of fun crafting in here at this point in time. I'm not really doing that so much anymore. Now I'm more just writing stuff because this took too long, but it was very fun and maybe I'll go back to it at some point. Before I print my photos though, I'm going to go through my kit and kind of figure out a plan for this spread and get an idea of how many photos I want to print. So in my album here, I have my I took it out of my album, but I had my two divided page protectors. I'm just gonna put this to the side. And these are this style that has a 4x6 card or two 4x6 pockets and 5 3x4 pockets. And I'd already decided on using these for this spread because this previous spread is done and then the next spread is planned out with a story kit and I needed that style for it. So that's what I ended up with for this week. I also have these tickets here because I went to see a concert this week. I got free, really good seats. They were $99.50 apparently, but they were free from Verizon. So I'm gonna put those in here because that's always fun to include ephemera. Because I have two, these days I would probably include one of these in my Hobonichi cousin and one here, but I didn't do that at the time and I'm not gonna go back to August in my cousin and like journal about it. So I am gonna put them both in here, but going forward, that's kind of my plan for ephemera is to put some in my Project Life and some in my journal. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the rest of this kit. So here we have some chipboard pieces. And this kit is focused around facts and feelings. So it is a very generic kind of starting point that you can really use to talk about pretty much any story. So for me, I think that using it in Project Life makes the most sense. A lot of people I think are going to use this for some other stories, and I know the community is kind of working on it this week. When you guys are seeing this spread completed, you probably will have seen a lot of those ideas. But for me, doing it in Project Life makes the most sense. And when I initially purchased these kits, that was my initial thought was to do it in Project Life. So it does come with some pattern paper, some papers and some cards. So I'm gonna look at the papers first. So this one is great to leave as a 6x8. You could cut this up and put it in the title here would fit in a 4x6. These could be cropped down and put like in a 3x4. But I think I'm gonna leave this as is and put it to the side to use in my story album. Same with this one. Again, these could be cut out and put on top of photos. This could be cut out and put on the top of a 4x6 card. But again, I'm gonna save that, I think, for my story album, just to do some very simple stories because it is such a simple theme. Now this vellum sheet is super pretty. And because there aren't 4x6 cards in here, I know I'm going to need a 4x6 title card. So I think I'm gonna crop this down to make a title card. And I can also do another one. I think I'll put it over here and put the tickets on top of it to kind of use that repetition across the spread and stick with this kit. Because that's in those and I don't have any other 4x6 pockets, I'm going to plan on printing two 4x6 photos. So what I'm gonna do is take my sticky note here, which is just saying these are the dates. And I did used to write down all the stories on here. I haven't been doing that recently because I have just been pulling directly from my Hobonichi. But I have done that in the past where I just make notes of the stories. But instead I'm going to make notes of the photos I need. So I need two 4x6 photos. So now I'm gonna move on to doing the journaling cards. And let's see here, I have this one So like these are basically all prompts for facts and feelings. So I'm just gonna kind of lay them out. And if you guys have watched a lot of my Project Life process videos, you know, usually I start with the photos and then pull out the cards. For a kit like this, sometimes it's fun to start with the cards and figure out what photos I need. Usually before you see my videos, I have kind of looked through the kit a little bit to get a general idea of what pockets I want filled with photos versus cards, but I tend to not really plan it out and start with my photos. Today I'm going to start with my cards. So I'm pulling over this and thinking of what are some stories I want to tell. So this one with the numbers, this is always going to go in my Project Life spread for me. That is just a very key, I don't know what to call it. What I always do is a list of stories from the week. So I'm going to use that to list out some random stories. Then let's see, I have a few stories to tell. Let's see here. I want to tell the story of going to the concert. So, and let's see, I also was feeling very burned out this week. I had some December daily stuff coming up. That can be a quick story that's on here. I started playing pickleball. That can be a quick story that's on there. I worked a lot of content prep. I'm just kind of looking through all of this. I went out to the pool one day. I played pool, like billiards. I like to call it pool, but I always mix this up in my head. And let's see, I had my last dinner out with Summer. That one definitely needs a facts and feelings. So I think I'm going to do this one about the facts and feelings of going out to dinner with Summer. These two are longer ones. I might not use these in this spread and save these and do like a facts and feelings layout. And then let's see, this one could be good for the concert. So if I'm putting the concert here, I can do like this. Although I do have a 4x6 photo from the concert too. And then let's see, I want to do, this one is for like more space. I think I'm going to do this one about like the burnout. And then let's see. Trying to decide if I have any other longer stories. So I have dinner out with Summer right before, this is the last week before she moved away to college. I have my concert. I have just general burnout that I was feeling this week and a bunch of stuff that was going on with that. And then this is just all my other like little stories. And that's pretty much it. I could also tell a story about a bunch of stuff going on with Summer right now, or just like my general, working on all of my content creation, playing pool, all of those things. But I feel like those are going to end up on here. So I don't know that I need these ones. I'm going to put them to the side. So my plan here is to print 3x4 photos. So I'm going to make a note of that here. 3x4, I want 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then the 4x6, I want the 2, and then I have one pocket with this, and one pocket is the title. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to fully do it that way. I will move these around once I have my photos printed, but that gives me enough information where I can now go ahead and move over to the computer, print out my photos, and I'll pop back on here once those photos are printed out. Okay, now I have my photos printed, I have them cropped, and I'm ready to lay out my spread, kind of where I normally am when you guys first see me coming into a video. I don't normally lay them out this much in advance, but I wanted to do that this time, which is part of the reason why I did show you guys the beginning, because I did start with the kit this week rather than start with the photos. So I also had cropped down some white cardstock to 4x6 to layer these on, and I will adhere them down once I'm ready to put things away or like put things together. But for right now, I'm just worrying about my layout and kind of where everything's gonna go. So I have this photo from the concert and the tickets. I think this one's gonna be about that story. And then this one I wanted to be about the story of like my going to dinner with my daughter that last time before she moved out. And then let's see, I also have, this is just a random photo. Let's see here. On this side, so I don't love like these colors next to each other. And that's why like I moved that one up there, but I do need, I mean, I guess I could put this here, but no, I don't like the cards touching, and one of them has to touch this. So I think it makes more sense to be the one that's about that story. And I could switch them and have this story be about the concert and this one be about the dinner, but I don't know. For whatever reason, I like them like this. And then let's see, this is like stuff for like my daughter moving out. And then, so this photo is just like some pretty flowers, and that's a bird I saw on a walk. I want to kind of spread the green out. I'm trying to just kind of decide how I want them on the spread. Again, I have this card here, so I'd want to like put that next to like darker ones. And then I also have this photo of my cat, so like I don't want all the cat stuff together. So there, I kind of like that as the layout. And then I'm definitely going to add like a label on here to add my dates. Thinking I'm going to look for a circular label because all of these circles. And then I'm going to see if any of these work. So a lot of these chipboard pieces kind of pair together, like these two. So you could just use one, or I could use both of them on two different spots. But I kind of feel like these would be good for like directed storytelling. So I'm going to save those ones. And this one too, I think would also be good for like a layout specifically about facts and feelings. I think that this kit lends itself really well to being added into your stash. And while I don't really want to encourage you to just like buy stash products, I think that this kit does make a lot of sense if you are looking for more like stash products, because a lot of these things are very generic. So I'm thinking like, I kind of want to put some of these like on just photos, even though this one doesn't really have like a story. I kind of just want to put a chipboard there, and then like trying to decide if I want to put one. I think I want to put like this one. Well, I don't like the dark on dark there, like that on the concert photo. So just having those on those photos. And then these ones, I'm not sure if I really even want to put any chipboard or anything. What I'm thinking is I might want to add more like stories on some of these, but we'll see. Let me go ahead and go over to my stash and get started on pulling things to put into this spread. Okay, so I went over to my stash and I just grabbed these label stickers, and I definitely want to use one of these on my title here to put the date. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick it on here. I'm trying to decide kind of where I want it. I don't want to center it, so like I don't really want to cover these up. I think I'm just going to put it like there. And I feel like it needs another thing on there, so I'm just going to look like this. Like I think I like that as my title card. And I'm just going to put the dates on there. I also want to make note that there is the stamp set. So I might put some of these with like just a little stamp on here, like here's the story, and a little more details on a few of these photos. So I'm gonna leave these things here to pull from. And I still have these chipboard pieces that I probably won't use, but I have them to the side. I don't know that I want much else, but I might want to layer a few pieces into some of these embellishments. But I'm gonna go ahead and put you guys on fast forward and get this one put together. Okay, so the first thing I did was my title card here. I put the label sticker down and I adhered this vellum onto the white cardstock, I put the things on top of the vellum first, and then I only put rolling adhesive behind them so you can't see it through the vellum. It's okay that the vellum's not adhered down on the white cardstock all the way around because it is going to be in the pocket, so it doesn't really matter. I just need it adhered enough so that it doesn't slip around. I went to the stamp set and pulled out the star stamp and pulled out this ink. It's I believe it's called Columbia. Yes, it's the Columbia light blue ink from Ali Edwards, and use that to stamp the star lightly on that label with my dates. I don't tend to use colored inks that often. If you watched a lot of my videos, you will notice that I don't stamp that much, and when I do, it's almost always with black StazOn. But occasionally I like to bring in a little bit of color, and I thought that it made sense on that title card because everything else was black and I wanted the star to be a little more subtle. I did some journaling there while I was talking about the stamping, and then I moved on to this card. I again adhered the vellum down behind where the tickets would be, adhered the tickets, and put some tiny attacher staples. I tried out some of the chipboard pieces from the kit and decided that they didn't really work here. So instead I pulled out this chipboard heart from my stash and added that on top of those tickets. I just wanted something small to kind of embellish the tickets, even though they themselves are the embellishment of that card. Then I moved on to this journaling here. On this card, I'm journaling about my dinner with my daughter and with the prompts from this kit. The top box is about the facts and the bottom box is about the feelings. So I kind of broke the story into those categories, which is not how I normally would tell the story, but it makes a different perspective and it makes it a little more interesting when flipping through the entire album to have these different perspectives as you go through the album. I did the same thing for that journaling about the concert on that card with the green half circles. And then this one here is more about feelings in general. The card says like some facts and a lot of feelings or something like that. And I'm journaling all about how burned out I was this week and how I was both sad that my daughter was moving out for college, but also excited and kind of just ready to be done with this transition period because transition is just not something I'm good with. And I was just very, very burned out. Next, I decided I needed a little bit more embellishment. So I pulled out this piece of vellum and I'm stamping the circle from the stamp set, and then I'm going to stamp inside of it one of the, it's like a circle words that says the facts and the feelings, I think, and then the heart in the middle. And then what I end up doing is punching it out with a 1-inch circle punch, which I realize is the exact same size as that circle that I stamped. So if you do plan to stamp these and punch them out, I would just skip stamping the circle and just punch it out because it is a 1-inch circle. And I think that border is better when you're stamping it and not punching it out. I wanted to just layer these with the chipboard circles on each of the 4x6 photos. So I went ahead and did that. And then I decided I wanted to add some more label stickers. I had these circle ones that I had pulled out for my title card, and I just stamped on a couple of them. Here's the story, and then I'm journaling about my cat. So I'm going to add a little bit on the photo of my cat there sitting in the pantry. He has been sitting in the pantry begging for treats. It's kind of his new thing. So I wanted to document that. And then on this photo here of my cat climbing on the boxes, I'm just documenting the fact that my daughter has all of her stuff all packed up and ready to go for college. So it's not really about the cat, but he just happened to be in that picture, which is why I actually took the picture. But now I'm happy I have that picture of her stuff piled up there in the corner. Okay, I kind of had forgotten that there were these word phrase strips in the kit, but I pulled them over wanting to add a little bit more embellishments. So then I went into my stash and found a couple of word phrase strip colors sheets that were coordinated with the kit, a green one, I guess it's more of a teal, a yellow, and a white. And then I'm just going through on multiple cards and just stacking some word phrase strips, just reading the phrases and picking out ones that work with the kit or work with the photo or the spread, the week, something like that. It doesn't matter that much what the words say, but I try to have them be as fitting as possible. I really love the word phrase strips stacked like this as a repeated embellishment, and it's a good way to use up a lot of the ones in your stash, especially when I'm working with a kit like this that comes with a set that kind of always prompts me to go into my stash and bring a few more colored pieces in. Now I'm just kind of shifting things around, and I'm going to do this last journaling card here. So while I'm writing this out, I am looking over at my Hobonichi Cousin, which you saw in the beginning of the video, and I'm just pulling some of the random stories that didn't make it onto the other journaling cards or those journaling spots on those two photos, and just writing down a few little details from the week. I know this card says facts and feelings, but I'm not really sticking with that theme in my journaling here. Instead, I'm just kind of telling those random odds and ends stories. I feel like facts and feelings combined like that is general enough that it covers pretty much every story, because every story that you're going to tell is either a fact or a feeling or a combination of the two. So I didn't feel like I needed to frame my stories from any particular angle to make that card work. Now I'm just going ahead and slipping everything into the pockets and calling this one done. This spread came together pretty easily. I feel like that's always really the case when I'm working with a kit, but this kit specifically I think was very easy to work with in Project Life. It really lended itself well to these everyday life stories because the facts and feelings prompt is so general and can be used for pretty much any story. It's also a great kit if you need a jumping off point to help you tell more stories. Here's a look at that completed spread. And as always, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate all of the comments and likes that you guys give me. It keeps me motivated to keep showing up here again and again. I hope to see you guys all in the next one. Bye.